Yeah, here I would like to share our results from our research. Actually, I'm from hard science, not from social science, like you said. But we would like to touch this very beautiful field, that's the social aspect and media. The role of media in the application of sanitation technology. So, yeah, what is sanitation and its system? We know everybody sanitation refers to public health condition related to drinking water and adequate treatment and disposal of human excreta and sewage. And here I would like to express more in the human excreta. And in the sanitation itself, about to capture, storage, transport, treatment, and disposal of reuse of human excreta and wastewater. So the combination of different functional units that together allow managing, reusing, disposing different waste flows from many sites. So this is actually our activities already 20 years. So in the sanitation system, actually we talk about what is the input and what should we do using technological things to get a good output. So here's some, so the input is here about feces, excreta, so the mix of feces and urine, the black water, brown water, solid waste, garbage, gray water, and urine itself, or here is more from the civil engineering, storm water, and rain. And the output, this is about fertilizer, biogas, compost, and especially about treated water. So what is the things that we could do? Here about the toilet itself for feces, urine, we talk about open defecation that's still available in our country. Pit latrine, dry toilet here in the Europe, and even in Indonesia we have such kind of traditional dry toilet, composting toilet, urine diverted composting toilet, and this is here the modern thing, the flask, the pour flask, the vacuum, and so on. And the on-site treatment, we're talking about the composting toilet, the hydration composting toilet itself, and septic tank. Here it is very common in the Indonesian and maybe here in the Philippines. Imhof, this is the old, still available until now. This is anaerobic baffle reactor, the anaerobic filter, and joke. So that's need more treatment. And the anaerobic digestion, this normal actually in septic tank. The co-digestion, this is together normally between excrete and garbage, landfill, and so on. And for collection, we have a more problem here for collecting or transporting the input. Here, we use the cart, so collecting garbage collector here in many places in Indonesia. Human power, uses human power or mechanical power, or through the piping or sewerage system. And this is very, very modern, using pressurized vacuum system, and so on. And the off-site treatment, this is here on-site, and the off-site treatment, this is using some collection as black water, excreta, and so on, in septic tank or imhof tank, the anaerobic system, big one, the same system that is here, the anaerobic bowel system, anaerobic filter, the USB, the activated sludge, and the anaerobic system, and so on. It's very complicated sometimes, yeah? And then after we got the output, what should we do? this is the reuse or recharge of all the system. Urine back to as fertilizer. The sulfite, this is, we can use as fertilizer. The treated water we can use for irrigation and so on. And the energy from anaerobic system, we can use it as energy for heat or electricity. So, or we can recharge the treated water back to the nature. So this is the technology that we should do and we can do. So sanitation is a multi-aspect system. This is about the human and about the environment. So we're talking about technology that we really used to talk about it. Yeah? So here is an example that we have done and still doing it. This is an example of developing toilet system, toilet waste using a bio toilet or dry toilet system. So we talk about the human waste. How is the normal people feel about the human waste? This is something usually we don't talk openly. Even in our labs, so when we talk about this is maybe only in small group. When we come to big group, they always laugh at us. Yeah, because, talking about something dirty, disgusting. Or because Indonesia, 95% is Muslim, so we talk about najis, something we don't touch. And the clean water availability, we have to face now the problem in sanitation. And the technology to treat it, the people who want to use it, as long as I don't see it, okay. I don't want to touch it. Something that must be inexpensive. Something that modern, that can increase my prestige in the society. It should solve the problem. So, I try to describe it. We have three parties actually in this. About the technology itself, this is about us, the researcher, the engineers, the scientists, and about the users. That is our object, the consumer. It needs the acceptance. And this is about the media, who can mediate us, or to be a bridge maybe, to fasten the socialization, and maybe to give us the critics about this, and to make it more popular. So, for the media, it must be something bad news to be a good news. It must be something about trending topics, something new or not. So, for technology, for researcher, it's more practical. It's a solution, it's a practice, it's a state of the art, and we can publish paper. So, and for the user, it's more complicated. It's just the needs. Do we need it? Do we want it? Could it improve our life? It should change my comfort situation now. They don't want it normally. So, it's need a communication. So the challenge is how the communication about a technology sometimes have failed to recognize the way public or consumer or users understand the science-based, so we call it the logical way of thinking, on their perspective of historical, ethnical, and cultural view. So how to communicate science or technology to the public in such a way they can understand or easily to understand. So this is the expectations of public aspect researcher to be able to explain their research finding or technology in an unscientific way, so more digestible for lay public. But for the researcher expect public to be able to instantly understand the importance of their research findings, how it can be applicable in their daily life. So sometimes we just push them to understand it. But do they can understand? That's the other problem. So this is the most important, is I think this is the media. How the media works. So this I would share a self-experience in Indonesia on introducing composting toilet. So we have a lot of publication. This is through the, not only the, this is the good national media. So here is in the Reader's Digest. But they talk about poor sanitation, so introducing about the poor sanitation and the increasing of clean water need, and interviewing the researcher, and then that's the technology solution. This is about our technology. So always like this. So the introduction actually coming from us. All the idea coming from us, and we try to make the media to understand it, and they try to write it down like we want it. So here is big publication. This is in the national media, and they are more interested on the researcher itself. So we don't want to be published actually, but they said, oh, this is more interesting. This is a ladies in with this. Yeah. So from the news aspect, maybe, oh, it's interesting. What is this? What kind of vehicle is that? This is actually our urine diverted bio-toilet. So this is more describing about the figure. Yeah? And then they talk about the new development about this. This is the interview. And this is one other example. This is in a newspaper, in a local newspaper. They talk about something that is ikut about Terasawa Sensei and so on. And then they talk more than we hope. They give the audience something that actually we didn't do it. But it's make it more understandable maybe. But for us actually, oh, this is a bit lie. But okay. But for us, okay, this is the interest is more about this technology. Do the people have interest or not? Yeah. But the media can describe more than us. Maybe a bit wrong, but from the popularity, that this is here in the very big national newspaper. They make a serious report, and the reporter is very scientific. She described everything really like in a journal. For me, it is more like a journal, understandable for us, but I don't know for the viewers. Yeah. And here, some in the online media, they always talk about here's this, a promising solution to preventing a water crisis. So that's actually, this is our voice. So some media make a new title. Yeah? Title must be interesting, bombastic, or amusing. For us, the title is developing a new dry toilet system. But here is they make a good title, Kloset Ajaib, since it's in Bahasa Indonesia. They said this is a miracle, or miracle toilet from poop directly to a fertilizer, something like that. So maybe this gets the people, yeah. And here is very, very dull, very boring. There's a solution of sanitation for the water crisis, something like that. This is very dull. Then here is very interesting. So here is about serbuk pemangsa kotoran. This is about something to eat the excreta. But here is very, very good. This is a big magazine here. It's very good. They tell everything from the beginning until the end. So, bio-toilet has been positively published on mass media as many as others. But yet, bio-toilet is still hardly accepted by the public, that we have to face it. The background, of course, we try to introduced for the slum area with lack of anything. And then this is the soda is cheap, and this is existing technology. So we have to just to modify it. So the question is, does positive news on mass media have been successful to encourage public acceptance? I don't think so. How they perceive sanitation, how they define cleanliness, how can we achieve public acceptance? So this is more challenge for us. So how the mass media report the biotoilet? This is physical description. This is about the reactor and so on, about the sawdust as a matrix and so on. This is something new to the public. Or the benefit of using biotoilet. So using this, we need less water, something like that. And then the people, less water, is it clean or not? So something like that. So biotoilet is a problem solving. So this is one of this good solution about sanitation in the region that have difficulty to access clean water, something like that. It is very ideal. So the mass media introduced this kind of technology, the physical description of biotoilet, the benefit of using biotoilet, and this is a problem solving. That's media have already this. But the public concern is culture of sanitation. In Indonesia, it's about cleanliness and water. And this is different. We need really support from the social sciences who in Indonesia, they didn't have any interest to it. So the media covering about this technology should increase the public attention for MDGs, for water scarcities, poor sanitation, and disaster education. We have so many disasters, and some media directly try to interview us about this possibility to solve the problem in disaster area. And then they make a very good news about the biotoilet that we haven't done yet, actually, for disaster. Yeah? And profiling the finders. Okay, this is one other positive or maybe negative. Profiling the researchers. And the readers, it is the interested people, or it is the candidate for the as consumer. They always talk about the cost, the need, and the policy. This is for the government. So that's our share of experience. I hope that I can get more input and critique from you all. Thank you so much.